We have a breaking blockbuster trade we're going to talk about with Micah Parsons going to the Green Bay Packers. And you got to give credit to the dog, man. You know that account on X that broke this news, TD? Are you aware of that story? I believe is his name.
Yeah, I know who dropped it. Listen, man, there's people in the know out here, okay? There are people in the know. And look at how many prominent people, y'all stop listening to this crap. This is a bunch of just people trying to get clicks. You don't know who, especially y'all media members. Y'all need to pipe down. Some people have more connections than you all in the media. So, and I know it hurts you to know that, but he was on the money. He knew what he was talking about. He had got word. He said he don't believe it's going to happen, but this is what he's hearing. And that's credibility. It ain't like he was pushing the narrative. He basically said, this is crazy. I don't think it's going to happen, but this is what I'm getting. But yeah, man, this is crazy, man. The biggest recorded Ricky bomb in history. Never doubt the dog. Wow.
No, it is wild. And we talked about this, and there was a segment of Fourth and Forever earlier this week, and I brought up Ricky's report, saying like there is a rumor of Micah Parsons going to the Packers, and I kept emphasizing rumor. I don't know if I believe it. Well, anything that comes from Ricky Scoops now, I'm going to believe as a legit report.
Yeah.
You know what else he was first on?
What's that?
The news and free agency that the Jets were interested in Justin Fields at quarterback. I remember seeing that. I'm like, it's a rumor. Jets, Justin Fields. It was like a few weeks before free agency. And he was right.
Yeah,
He's right about everything.
He's in the know because nobody can guess anybody would want Justin Fields. So for him to know that,
you know what would be smart for Ricky Scoops? Maybe we can offer this to him. You know what would be the best thing for his career, whoever runs that, is to figure out a way to create an artificial intelligent dog that he can hide behind and have like a fake voice behind it. And he can be on the show with us right now. We're like interviewing him. And it's like an animation of that dog talking to us. And somehow there's some type of technology that can do that. Do you think there's technology that can pull it off? I think so.
Yeah, there is, but he'd have to want to do it. You know, Ricky keeps saying he's retiring and he'll come out later maybe and stuff. So I don't know.
Good opportunity for him, but that's all jokes aside. Information coming out, and I really want to dive deep into this Micah Parsons stuff because what was your reaction first when you saw that news, TD, that Micah Parsons is officially getting traded to the Green Bay Packers? We were talking about this for weeks now. Feels like even over a month. And I was wrong. I always thought that Jerry's going to get the job done just because he did it with Dak and he did it with CD. And I thought he was doing the same thing with Micah. But apparently what we found out based off all the reports is Micah Parsons went to the Dallas Cowboys and was persistent. I want a contract. And Jerry basically told him, play on your 5th year or leave. It's either you play with us for one more year with no contract or you get traded. And at that point, Micah Parsons like, well, if you're not going to pay me, I want out. And then things leveled up. And then all of a sudden, he goes to the Green Bay Packers with a record-breaking deal for 2 first-round picks in Kenny Clark. So what's your reaction of the Micah Parsons trade?
First of all, this is shocking to everyone because organizations are infamously stupid. I might be the lone ranger in all of the world that thinks that the Dallas Cowboys made an excellent decision. They actually made an excellent decision. You don't have any money. You paid everybody, and it was one more person to pay. You don't have any money. So how do you expect your team to be better? Would you just want to pay for the constant repeat of the same mediocrity over and over and over again? So I actually love the fact that they went ahead and traded him in efforts. We don't know if it's going to work out, but you got to take chances to try to make your roster better. So you get capital and you fill a hole that's massive on your defense already at the defensive tackle position. He's old, but it still fills a hole right now. And you get 2 first-round picks. And you go in the draft and you hope that you hit on those picks. If you don't, you gambled and it didn't pay off. If you do, your team could be better for it. But you've already tried this. You've tried the Dakian regime. The only problem I have with all of this is you should have exercised this same thing with Dak Prescott instead of giving him $60 million and being on the hook, locked down with handcuffs with that for a few more years. This was a smart move, but the move you made before it makes it dumb. But I'm not knocking you for making it. You had to. At what point do you say this is insanity? We're doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. We got to stop operating out of hope and go into action. And this was an action move. But again, why did you pay Dak? CD? Okay. Like in any scenario, CD can fit. Any scenario for the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb can fit. But don't tell me in any scenario Dak fits because he can't get you over the hump. He can't play great football in the playoffs. And he's starting to have more and more injury concerns. So it's a contradiction, but I do understand why you did it, and this was best for the Cowboys. A lot of people, you can't trade away your best players. Well, Green Bay, you on the clock. You better win with the best player. But here's what I need people to know about the Dallas Cowboys making this trade. If they would have re-signed him, it was going to be zero benefit. It wasn't going to move the needle. You think signing a guy that's already on the roster makes the roster better? No. It's just the same thing at a higher price. And let's not forget, it was $47 million. I wouldn't have given this man $47 million. I think that's what everybody's failing to realize as well. Green Bay is basically telling you we're going for broke. We're putting all our chips in the middle of the table, and we're trying to make it work like the Eagles. And if it works, yay! But we're gonna be in trouble in the future financially. And if it don't work, oh crap! That's all this is. This is a temporary situation for Green Bay to try to push all their chips in the middle of the table because they're in a division that they haven't dominated, that has great teams in it, and you gotta have a competitive edge somehow. And now they got two of the best elite pass rushers. So I get it, Green Bay, but you're on the clock too. You got a 2-3 year window to actually win it. Because if you don't, you failed making this trade. So it's a whole bunch of wait and see who won the trade, but everybody's going to take a poop on the Cowboys right now. And I think that they're closer to getting better than they would have been had they signed him. Don't forget my last point, and I've already made it, but I got to say it again, Richie, $47 million. There ain't nothing else to talk about. Thank you for your services. Let's get those draft picks and let's move on. I can't pay. And truth be told, I don't care if y'all say he the best defensive player in the league. He ain't impacting no game at no $47 million. Just like none of these quarterbacks impacting the game at 60, 55, or $50 million. At some point, you got to stand for something to fall for anything. Congratulations to Jerry Jones for finally standing up for his organization. I know he's going to get bashed for it. But this is actually the best thing they could have done, in my opinion. I might be the only person on this earth that believe that.